Right, guys, we're here with another review from For Eyes Academia. It's myself, Prime, La Prima, La Prima, La Placa Vera, the one and only El Showington. And today we're here to talk about the Mass Effect trilogy. You know, everyone that knows me, I did a previous video earlier, and I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect series is my thing. I love it to bits. So what I'm going to do is kind of break it out into a couple sections. I'm going to talk about the whole of Mass Effect Series 1, whole of Mass Effect 2, whole of Mass Effect 3. And considering I haven't played the first one that was originally launched, I'm going to obviously talk about my experience through the kind of 1, 2, and 3 and how they've kind of fared up against, you know, more modern action RPGs and kind of more modern works. So, boom, point number 1. Mass Effect 1 is a lot of a slower paced game than the rest of the Mass Effect series. I feel like you can see it's the first version of the game, like the first version of the series. There's a lot of stuff that they tried that didn't really work as well. If I'm trying to go for a proper like action third person shooter, like gun focused, but also with elements of, you know, RPG and biotic powers. I just don't think it clicks that well. I think some controls are a bit clunky, and I feel like that affects kind of your general love for the game going forward. Well, what they did for Mass Effect 2 is completely overhaul that system. So we're talking about like maybe about 90% lifts of the content. So they have kept this on the same base elements. So we're talking about, you know, the skill point system, obviously the Renegade and Paragon system, which is obviously, you know, the way you work in terms of your good versus evil alignment, plus the basis of the weapons. But the key things they've changed out and taken out of your hands is the aspects of, like, you know, modifications and like level 1 of weapon, like a Shemitah, like assault rifle version 1 up to like version 5 and 6 and 7. They've taken that away, and I think that's really important. That makes a world of difference. I feel like in the first one there was a lot more to think about. Moving on to second one and third one, there's a lot less to think about. I think it just says, go out there, this is a gun, you will shoot your gun. This gun shoots burst fire, this gun shoots single fire, this gun shoots slower, this gun shoots faster. Simple as, and that's how it works across with all different weapons. They also make it a bit more refined in that every character type can use a certain amount of weapons, and you can then obviously learn to try a new weapon. So for example, I use a biotic, and the weapons that I can use are submachine guns and heavy pistols. And those, obviously, submachine guns are great against different types of shields, like biotic shields. Heavy pistols are great against armor, kind of like your all-round gun. Well then, if we're to kind of go on further from that, it gets a bit different and a bit better in the sense that you can learn to use either, like, you know, a shotgun or assault rifle, and that makes your gameplay experience and the way you want to play kind of change on the fly. Like, that is amazing in the way the game works and the way it wants to take you through the story. So that's amazing. So with the Mass Effect story, it follows Commander Jane Shepard, who is the let's for the lack of a better word, she is an officer on a ship. And then obviously you find out that, you know, the Earthborn and a lot of alien species dislike Earthborns and, you know, Earthlings. Understandable. I mean, if I was an alien, I'd probably hate Earthlings too. But as you progress through the story, you find out that Shepard's been betrayed by certain aspects or certain things. And then she's chasing, obviously, for a situation, following a guy who seems to be, you know, on a somewhat rogue mission at the beginning. You then obviously meet the mission, and you obviously meet the guy, and you find out what he's looking for, and you're introduced to a species called the Reapers, and the Reapers are the main antagonists throughout the course of the 1, 2, and 3 games. So I'm not trying to spoil any of the stories for you, because I think the story is the best part about the game. And it's the reason why you should play the game. Obviously, again, I've said it previously in another video I've done, that it's often referred to as the Star Wars of the kind of like the RPG action gaming world. There's a lot of lore, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of stuff to understand and explore. I want to keep this review generally short. I don't want to speak about, you know, my stuff that I touched upon in my previous video, you know, in my 5 things I like, which I think you guys should check out, just kind of understand. But let's talk about how it holds up in current day gaming. Now, there's a lot of action RPG games out there. You know, you've got the likes of Borderlands, which are looter shooter, you know, action RPG grind style. You've got the likes of, I've got so many, let's have a look right here. You know, you got Like, so Dragon Age, again, that's an old one done by the same people. You got Outriders again. Like, there are a few action RPG games that are out kind of in this kind of current sphere. And I feel like Mass Effect does well to take the best aspects of a Borderlands type game, you know, a looter shooter in a way, and the likes of a kind of refined game like The Witcher, which is obviously touted as one of the best RPGs of our generation. And it balances them well. Decisions are important, gaming is important, quality of life is improved throughout the game, so it's continuous development. And with the remaster, they've done their best to bring it as close to PS4 or PS5 graphics as possible. So in that aspect, I think the game does really well. What I think it doesn't do well, or it doesn't do at all, was make the slight iteration adjustments that, you know, that are taken into account, like the DualShock 4 and, you know, the motion sense controllers and the DualShock, and, you know, the DS5 with the haptic triggers. Again, obviously each controller and obviously, you know, responds to these things differently. Xbox obviously has their own kind of versions of these triggers, but I think, like, you know, for a game that they knew they were going to remaster and they were going to push for, I think they could have been pushed it a bit more. But they've done it with the graphics, and I think that the game itself as a bare bone skeleton is great. So there's not much they really need to do. I would give the Mass Effect trilogy an instant cop. It might not be some people's liking because a lot of story moments, a lot of cutscenes, a lot of decision making. But I feel like for someone who is into action RPGs, this is a must-play game. If you're into RPGs as a whole, this is a must-play game. And I feel like you should watch that and follow that story from start to finish, because stories are one of the best parts of RPGs, and the story is the best thing about Mass Effect. So out of 10, I would give this game a 7.5 at the minimum. An instant cop, a copability. How can I forget the giveaway? Yes, we are giving away one digital copy of Mass Effect, the trilogy. All you need to do is 3 simple things. In the comments below, let us know what you thought of the video and what you think of the Mass Effect series as a whole. 2, like this video. And 3, subscribe. We'll be picking winners within the week, and we'll let you know whether you have won. Stay tuned on our Twitter pages and on our YouTube page as we announce the winners soon.